Making peace with mistakes, a nightly forgiveness practice. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing your heart to rest again. Table of Contents. Introduction: The healing power of forgiveness at night. Why we carry emotional weight into sleep. The truth about mistakes: everyone makes them. Rewriting the inner critic with compassionate self-talk. A ritual of letting go, creating a forgiveness space before bed. Forgiving others without reopening old wounds. The mirror of reflection: learning from our mistakes. Scripting your nightly forgiveness prayer. Healing the body through emotional release. Waking up lighter: a new day, a new you. Chapter 1: The healing power of forgiveness at night. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing your heart to rest again. Nighttime holds a sacred power. It's the natural pause in the rhythm of life, the quiet space where we turn down the world and tune into ourselves. But for many, nighttime is not peaceful. It becomes a time when our inner critics speak the loudest, when the reel of mistakes we made during the day or even decades ago plays on loop in our minds. It is in these still hours that we wrestle with regret, guilt, shame, or bitterness. And unknowingly, we allow those emotions to root deeper into our spirit. This chapter marks the beginning of a gentle, transformative journey, a nightly practice that will teach you to let go of emotional burdens, forgive both yourself and others, and make peace with the day before it slips into tomorrow. This is not a quick fix. It's a compassionate habit of emotional hygiene. And like brushing your teeth, it is something you do every night, not because you're dirty, but because you value your well-being. Why nighttime matters. Our subconscious minds are most receptive before sleep. What we dwell on in those final waking moments has the power to shape not only our dreams but our physiology, our emotions, and our perspective when we wake. If we go to bed with unresolved negativity, our bodies carry that stress throughout the night. Cortisol levels remain elevated. Our sleep is restless. Our immunity weakens. Our mental fog thickens. The burden doesn't disappear, it just waits for us again in the morning. But if we can create a sacred ritual of release, one where we empty the emotional debris of the day and consciously forgive, we begin to rewire our internal landscape. We give ourselves a chance to heal while we sleep. Our dreams become more peaceful. Our bodies rest more deeply. Our hearts begin to open again. Forgiveness is the pillow our soul longs to rest its head upon. The myth of perfection. Let's break something wide open: you are not meant to be perfect. The relentless pursuit of perfection is not only unattainable, it is exhausting. Mistakes are not proof of your unworthiness, they are proof that you are growing, learning, risking, living. They are evidence of your humanity. Each misstep holds a lesson. Each awkward apology is a mark of courage. Every time you said the wrong thing, made a poor decision, or walked away from something good out of fear, you were simply doing your best with the awareness and tools you had at the time. And now? You have more awareness, more tools, more courage. Nightly forgiveness is your way of honoring that evolution. It is saying, I see the path I've walked. I accept it. And now, I choose peace. This practice isn't about excusing bad behavior, yours or anyone else's. It's about liberating yourself from carrying it any longer. A quiet revolution within. Forgiveness is not passive. It is a powerful declaration that you will no longer be held hostage by yesterday's emotions. It is an inner revolution, a turning point where you stop reliving the same emotional stories and start writing a new narrative. One where you are not the villain, the victim, or the failure, but the hero. The soul who is choosing to rise again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen. And what better time to do this than at night, when your soul is whispering for stillness, begging for closure, and yearning for the peace that only self-forgiveness can bring. You do not have to go to sleep with a clenched heart. You do not have to punish yourself with memories. You are allowed, yes, allowed to begin again, every night. And this book will guide you, step by step, into that space of release. The emotional cost of carrying guilt. Think of emotional pain as a heavy backpack. Guilt is a brick. Shame is another. Anger, especially unexpressed, is a stone. Resentment, regret, disappointment, more weight. Now imagine trying to sleep with that burden pressing against your chest. No wonder your breathing is shallow. No wonder your dreams are disturbed. No wonder your mornings feel like déjà vu. You're not broken. You're just carrying too much. This nightly forgiveness practice is about removing those emotional weights. One by one. Gently. Lovingly. Because you matter. Because your peace matters. Because when you heal your nights, you heal your days. Permission to begin. This book is your permission slip. Your invitation. Your reminder that you do not need to carry emotional burdens into the quiet hours. That you deserve a clear heart and a quiet mind. You are not defined by what you did wrong but by what you choose to do now. And tonight, you choose to begin again. With each chapter, you will be guided through a gentle but powerful transformation. You will learn to identify the emotional weights you carry. You will gain tools to forgive yourself with real compassion. You will develop a nightly ritual of emotional release. You will begin to sleep deeper, dream clearer, and wake up renewed. This is your time. The day is done. The noise is fading. And you are ready. Close your eyes tonight knowing, you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the love you offer yourself when you forgive. You are light. You are enough. You are free. Chapter 2. Why we carry emotional weight into sleep. Unspoken thoughts become whispers at night. What you silence during the day, your soul remembers. There's a quiet heaviness that often descends at night, a sensation not tied to physical fatigue, but to an emotional weight we barely acknowledge. You've felt it before. That sudden tightness in the chest while lying in the dark. The flash of an uncomfortable memory. The replay of an old conversation. The whisper of self-doubt, why did I do that? What if I had acted differently? These moments aren't random. They're part of a pattern, a deeply human one. As the external world fades into silence, our internal world grows louder. When the distractions of the day, our jobs, our conversations, our scrolling, our routines cease, the mind returns to unfinished emotional business. Unspoken guilt. Unresolved conflict. Lingering self-judgment. In this chapter, we uncover why this happens. And more importantly, how understanding it sets you on a path to healing. The subconscious comes alive at night. Your mind has two primary states, the conscious and the subconscious. During the day, your conscious mind is in charge. It helps you navigate traffic, make decisions, respond to emails, smile when you're supposed to even when you don't feel like it. It's the surface mind. But at night, especially just before and during sleep, the subconscious takes over. This is where your emotional truths live, the parts of you that may be buried, hidden, or ignored during waking hours. The subconscious doesn't filter like the conscious mind. It doesn't rationalize. It doesn't argue. It simply brings forth whatever is unprocessed, waiting for your attention. And when there are unresolved emotional wounds, especially those tied to regret, mistakes, or strained relationships, they rise like mist in the stillness of night. This isn't a flaw in your design. It's your soul inviting you to finish what you started. To face what you buried. To heal what still hurts. Emotions we refuse to process become residue. Think of every emotion as energy. Joy flows. Peace flows. But emotions like guilt, shame, resentment, and regret, they stagnate. They harden into residue when ignored. Like dust on a mirror, they cloud your ability to see yourself clearly. You may appear confident to others, but inside, something feels off. Heavy. Uneasy. And because you didn't deal with that tension during the day, your mind serves it back to you at night. Let's say you had an argument, but never apologized. Or you made a mistake years ago that you've never forgiven yourself for. Or you constantly tell yourself you're not enough. These become emotional tabs left open, draining your spirit in the background. Your body remembers. Your heart remembers. And when you finally lie down to rest, these emotional tabs beg to be closed. The loop of self-blame and rumination. Have you ever noticed how the same thoughts keep replaying, night after night? I shouldn't have said that. Why can't I just get it right? I wish I could go back. I hate how I treated them. I hate how I let them treat me. This loop known as rumination is your mind's attempt to resolve something, but without the tools to do so, it just circles. The result? Mental fatigue, poor sleep, and eventually, emotional burnout. And here's the heartbreaking part, most of what you ruminate on is already in the past. What keeps it alive is your unwillingness to let go. Not because you're stubborn, but because you were never taught how. This book is here to change that. The brain's wiring to protect you can also trap you. From a neurological standpoint, your brain is wired for survival, not peace. It evolved to scan for danger, remember what hurt you, and avoid it in the future. This is why negative memories and emotions have such staying power. They feel more urgent to the brain. Mistakes feel like threats. Shame feels like identity. Regret feels like punishment. But you're no longer running from tigers. You're running from yourself. And the predator is your past. Forgiveness rewires this response. When you practice nightly forgiveness, you teach your brain a new story. I am safe. I am evolving. I release what no longer serves me. This is not wishful thinking. It's neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself through new thoughts and rituals. And the best time to do it? Right before sleep. The emotional locks we place on ourselves. Many people carry invisible emotional locks on their hearts. The child who grew up thinking love had to be earned. The adult who now believes every mistake proves their unworthiness. The perfectionist who equates flaws with failure. The empathy who takes responsibility for everyone's pain but their own. Each lock is a belief. And beliefs, when repeated enough, become prisons. You might not even realize you're locked up until you try to rest and your mind won't let you. But here's the truth, you hold the key. Each night, when you choose to forgive yourself even slightly, you loosen that lock. And one night, you'll find it falls off completely. What remains is not emptiness, but peace. Spaciousness. Room for a breath. Room for a love. How nightly forgiveness sets you free. Forgiveness isn't a gift to the person who hurt you. It's a release for yourself. It is the unclenching of a fist. It is the exhale after holding your breath for far too long. It is the act of saying, "This no longer controls me." When practiced every night, even in small ways, this ritual clears your emotional field. It makes room for stillness, for clarity, for sleep that truly nourishes. You no longer wake up dreading the day. You greet it. Because the weight you carried is no longer yours. A gentle invitation. If your nights are filled with guilt, rumination, or unease, know this. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are not too late to heal. You are simply ready. Ready to stop carrying the emotional weight that was never meant to be permanent. Ready to remember that your mistakes are part of your journey, not the end of it. Ready to let forgiveness be your guide into peace. Let this be your nightly whisper to yourself. Whatever I didn't get right today, I release. Whatever pain I still carry, I soften. I forgive. I breathe. I let it go. I rest. Because tonight, your heart deserves peace. And tomorrow, you'll rise new. Chapter 3, The Truth About Mistakes. Everyone makes them. A mistake is not the end of the road. It's a signpost that you're still moving, still learning, still alive. If you're reading this, it's likely that you've replayed a moment in your mind again and again. A choice you regret. A word you wish you could take back. A path you wish you'd never taken or wish you had. You've judged yourself in the silence of night. You've wondered if you're the only one who gets it wrong so often. Let's begin with a bold truth that deserves to echo through every fiber of your being. Everyone makes mistakes. Not just once, but repeatedly. Even the wisest, the kindest, the most careful, even you. Mistakes are not a personal failure. They are a shared human condition. They are how we grow, how we stretch, how we become more of who we're meant to be. You've likely heard the saying, to err is human. But what does that really mean? It means that messing up is not a detour, it's the path itself. Every person you admire, every mentor, every friend, every parent, every teacher, they've all faltered. Many of them more times than they care to admit. So why is it so hard to forgive ourselves? Because somewhere along the way, we confused our mistakes with our identity. We mistook imperfection as proof that we're unworthy. And we've held on to that belief like armor, thinking it protects us from further pain when in truth, it weighs us down. This chapter is your invitation to loosen that grip. The purpose of mistakes. Let's reframe the narrative. Mistakes are not evidence of failure, they are evidence of effort. They mean you took a risk. You tried. You acted with the knowledge and emotional tools you had at the time. And even if it didn't go the way you hoped, you were never meant to be flawless. You were meant to grow. Think of a child learning to walk. They wobble. They fall. They crash into furniture. But no one says, "You're a bad walker." We cheer them on. We lift them up. We celebrate the courage to try again. When did we stop giving ourselves that same grace? What if every mistake you've made is a chapter in your becoming? What mistakes reveal about you? Mistakes reveal your humanity. They show that you care, that you feel, that you are capable of reflection. They remind you that you're alive and evolving. Here's what your mistakes say about you. You're brave because you dared to step outside your comfort zone. You're accountable because you remember what you did, and you want to grow from it. You're honest because you recognize what you could have done better. You're still learning, which means you're still expanding. There's dignity in that. Mistakes aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs that you're becoming. The inner critic and its false narratives. One of the reasons we struggle with forgiveness is because of the voice inside our heads, the inner critic. It's the part of you that says, "You always mess up. You're not good enough. Why even try? You deserve to feel bad." This voice sounds convincing, familiar, but it's not your truth. It's an outdated survival mechanism. A voice you may have inherited from past experiences, childhood conditioning, or painful memories. It thinks it's keeping you safe by reminding you of your faults. But all it's really doing is building a wall between who you are and who you're meant to be. The goal is not to silence the inner critic overnight. The goal is to soften it with truth. To respond to it like you would a scared child. "I know you're trying to help, but I choose kindness now. I choose forgiveness." That's how healing begins. Learning to respond, not react. When you've made a mistake, your first instinct may be to react. with shame, with self-punishment, with withdrawal. But growth happens when you respond instead. With curiosity, what can I learn from this? With ownership, what do I need to make right? With grace, how can I forgive myself and move forward? This shift in mindset doesn't make the mistake disappear, but it transforms the energy around it. What once felt heavy becomes a tool for growth. What once haunted your sleep becomes a stepping stone to your next chapter. Mistakes are not a reflection of your worth. Let's say that again, louder for the soul to hear. Your mistakes are not a reflection of your worth. You are not the choices you regret. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are not the failure you feel late at night. You are the one who is learning, reflecting, apologizing, evolving. And in the eyes of love, in the eyes of your highest self, that is more than enough. It's not about erasing the past. It's about rewriting what it means. The Forgiveness Loop, a simple practice. Tonight, when your mind replays a mistake, pause and say to yourself, I acknowledge that I made a mistake. I'm allowed to be imperfect. I'm learning. I forgive myself. I let go. I rest. Repeat it gently, with your hand over your heart, with a deep breath in, with love in your voice. You're not lying to yourself. You're telling the deeper truth, the one your inner child, your future self, and your soul long to hear. Do this nightly. It's not a magic spell, but it is a miracle in motion. The light that mistakes can reveal. Sometimes, your greatest growth will come from the places you least expect, the painful decisions, the wrong turns, the moments you wish you could erase. Those moments are sacred teachers. They teach humility. They teach compassion for yourself and for others. They teach resilience. They teach perspective. They teach you. And as you forgive, night by night, you reclaim those lessons. Not as scars, but as stars guiding you forward with more wisdom and more light. Final reflection. Tonight, let go of the illusion that anyone gets it right all the time. Let go of the belief that your worth is tied to your record of perfection. You are allowed to stumble. You are allowed to feel regret. You are allowed to rise. Let your mistakes be your compass, not your cage. Breathe into your heart. Whisper forgiveness. Close your eyes knowing, you are not alone. You are not finished. And every step you take, even the messy ones, are part of a beautiful, unfolding journey. You are a masterpiece in motion. And tonight, you rest in that truth. Chapter 4, Rewriting the Inner Critic with Compassionate Self-Talk. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one who has the power to choose what it says next. Every one of us has an inner dialogue, an ongoing stream of thoughts that narrates our lives. Sometimes it's quiet, barely noticeable. Other times, it's loud and unrelenting, especially in the stillness of night. And too often, that voice becomes a harsh critic, replaying our missteps, magnifying our flaws, and whispering doubts that linger long after the lights go out. But here's the life-changing truth: you are not bound by that voice. You can rewrite it. You can retrain it. You can transform it into your greatest ally. In this chapter, we will explore how to recognize the inner critic, understand its roots, and then through gentle, persistent self-talk replace it with a voice that uplifts, encourages, and restores peace before you sleep. Identifying the inner critic. The inner critic has many disguises. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it masks itself as logic or being realistic. But its purpose is always the same: to keep you small, to protect you from perceived danger, and to prevent you from growing in love and self-acceptance. You might recognize it in phrases like, "You always mess things up," "You're not doing enough," "They'll never forgive you," You don't deserve peace. Who are you to think you can move on? The inner critic thrives on fear. It clings to old pain and weaponizes your memories. But remember, just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't mean it's true. Where the inner critic comes from. Understanding the root of your inner critic is the first step toward compassion. Often, this voice isn't even yours. It's inherited from caregivers, teachers, past relationships, societal pressure. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that you had to be better, more, or perfect to be worthy. And now, that outdated programming plays on repeat. It's like an old recording looped in your subconscious. But here's the miracle: recordings can be erased. Scripts can be rewritten. And you hold the pen now. Why compassionate self-talk matters. Words have power. They carry energy. The words you speak internally become the lens through which you view the world and yourself. If your inner dialogue is laced with criticism, guilt, or blame, your nervous system will interpret your thoughts as threats. This triggers stress, anxiety, and sleep disruption. But when your self-talk is compassionate, supportive, and nurturing, your body responds with calm. Your heart rate slows. Your breath deepens. Your sleep becomes more restorative. And your confidence slowly begins to rebuild. Nightly compassionate self-talk is not a luxury, it is a healing necessity. Creating a self-talk sanctuary before sleep. Imagine this: your bed is not just a place to rest your body, it's a sanctuary where your soul is nurtured back to wholeness each night. And your self-talk is the music that plays in that sanctuary. Each night, before closing your eyes, speak to yourself like someone you deeply love. Use phrases like, "I did the best I could today. I am growing. I am learning. I am worthy of rest. I forgive myself. I let go. I choose peace. I choose softness. I am safe to rest now." At first, these words may feel unfamiliar. That's okay. You are building a new relationship with yourself. And just like any relationship, it requires time, presence, and trust. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. From criticism to curiosity. One powerful way to disarm your inner critic is to replace judgment with curiosity. Instead of, "Why did I mess up again?" try, "What was I feeling in that moment? What did I need that I didn't know how to ask for? What can I learn from this with gentleness?" Curiosity invites understanding. Understanding invites compassion. Compassion creates change. Every time you shift your inner dialogue from accusation to inquiry, you give yourself a gift, the freedom to grow without shame. Reparenting yourself with kindness. Many of us didn't grow up hearing affirming, kind, or forgiving language. So it feels unnatural to speak to ourselves that way. But here's the truth: you can reparent yourself. You can become the loving, wise, encouraging presence you needed all along. Every night, as you lay your head down, you can wrap yourself in the kind of emotional care that rewrites generational patterns. Say to yourself, "I am proud of you for making it through today. You're allowed to be imperfect and still be lovable. It's okay to rest. You've done enough." Over time, this becomes your new default. You'll find that in difficult moments, instead of spiraling into self-blame, you'll instinctively turn inward with kindness. That's the power of compassionate self-talk. It becomes your anchor in life's storms. The 3-minute nightly practice. Let's create a simple 3-minute ritual you can use every night to retrain your inner voice. Step 1. Acknowledge the inner critic. Close your eyes and notice what thoughts are running through your mind. Is there guilt? Shame? Worry? Don't judge it, just name it. Step 2. Place your hand on your heart. This physical act sends a signal of safety to your nervous system. It says, I am here for me. Step 3. Speak your compassionate affirmations. Whisper these or any variation that fits your heart. I am more than my mistakes. I offer myself grace. I release the need to be perfect. I rest now in peace and love. Step 4. Breathe deeply and smile softly. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Feel your body soften. Smile not because everything is perfect, but because you are choosing peace. Do this nightly. Make it sacred. Make it yours. Becoming your own safe space. The ultimate goal is to become your own safe space. When the world is harsh, when others misunderstand you, when your own mind becomes noisy, you return to that inner sanctuary where your voice is loving, patient, and strong. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. You are the master of your internal world. And each night, you can choose what energy you sleep with. You can choose peace over punishment. You can choose gentleness over guilt. You can choose to befriend your mind. This is how forgiveness grows. Not just as a concept but as a lived experience. Final reflection. Tonight, you get to decide what kind of voice rocks you to sleep. Will it be the same critical echo that drains you? Or a new, gentle melody that restores you? You deserve rest. You deserve comfort. You deserve the same compassion you so willingly offer to others. And the voice inside you? It's listening. Train it well. Speak with kindness. Speak with hope. Speak with love. Because the more you practice compassionate self-talk, the more you awaken to this truth. You are already enough. You are already healing. You are already loved. Chapter 5, A Ritual of Letting Go, Creating a Forgiveness Space Before Bed. Before you close your eyes, open your heart. What you release tonight will no longer burden your tomorrow. There's a moment, just before sleep, when the soul opens. It's a tender sliver of time when the day loosens its grip and your spirit asks the simple question, can I rest without carrying this into tomorrow? This is the moment we must honor. Not with distraction. Not with denial. But with a sacred act, the ritual of letting go. In this chapter, you will create your personal forgiveness space, a place, a mindset, and a practice where you can release emotional clutter before bed, gently clear your heart, and breathe into the peace that is already waiting for you. Forgiveness is not just a feeling. It is a deliberate act. And when we build a ritual around it, we give that act power. We tell our soul, you are safe now. You don't need to hold this pain any longer. Let's build that ritual together. Why rituals work? Our brains love patterns. Rituals provide a structure for the mind to relax and shift states. That's why brushing your teeth signals sleep, lighting a candle can calm your nerves, and deep breathing lowers your stress. By creating a nightly forgiveness ritual, you're forming a healthy habit that signals, it's time to let go. It's time to heal. Over time, this ritual will become an anchor, something you look forward to. A moment each night to come home to yourself. Forgiveness doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be true. Step 1. Preparing the space. Choose a small, quiet place in your room to become your forgiveness corner. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to feel safe. You might include a cushion or chair that invites you to sit with ease. A soft blanket to wrap yourself in as a symbol of comfort. A journal to capture thoughts or emotions you wish to release. A candle or dim light to represent your inner clarity. Calming scents like lavender, chamomile, or sandalwood. This is not a place of judgment. It is a sanctuary for your healing. Each night, when you enter this space, your body will remember, here, I am allowed to let go. Step 2, the forgiveness invocation. Words have power, especially when spoken with intention. Begin your ritual with a short invocation or affirmation that sets your purpose. Speak it aloud or silently. Tonight, I release what no longer serves me. I forgive myself. I forgive others. I return to peace. Or you might say, I am safe to let go. I allow grace to guide me. I welcome healing into my heart. Customize these words to reflect what your soul needs to hear. Say them like a lullaby to your nervous system. This simple act of verbal intention tells your mind, it's time to stop replaying the past. It's time to rest. Step 3, the breath of release. Your breath is your most powerful tool for emotional release. It bypasses the chatter of the mind and speaks directly to your body. Try this simple breathing pattern. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 to 8 counts. Pause and repeat. As you exhale, imagine you are releasing guilt, resentment, anger, or regret. Picture it leaving your body like smoke dissolving into the air. You don't have to force anything. Just let your breath carry the burden away, slowly, lovingly. Breathe out the day. Breathe in peace. Step 4, the journaling surrender. Sometimes emotions need words. Journaling can be a powerful way to process and release what's weighing on your heart. In your forgiveness journal, try prompts like, what mistake do I need to forgive myself for today? What emotion am I holding that I'm ready to release? What did I learn from this experience? Who do I need to forgive so I can sleep with peace? Don't worry about grammar or style. This is not for anyone else. It's just you, gently unraveling the emotional knots. If you're not a writer, you can also voice record your thoughts into a private message or whisper them aloud. The goal is expression, not perfection. Step 5, the ritual of visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a beautiful lake at sunset. You're holding a small lantern that contains your emotional weight, your regrets, your mistakes, your unspoken pain. One by one, you open the lantern and place these emotions into the water. Watch them dissolve, ripple, and vanish. The lake is still. The sky darkens gently. You feel lighter, freer. You whisper to yourself, I am not what I did. I am what I choose now. Let the scene soothe you. Let it symbolize your release. You can return to this visualization nightly, customize the setting, add a peaceful guide, or imagine angelic light bathing you in forgiveness. Make it yours. Step 6, a closing gesture of completion. End your ritual with a physical gesture that seals the experience. You might ring a small bell. Blow out a candle. Place your hand over your heart and bow your head. Say, it is done. I rest in peace. This closing act creates closure. It tells your mind and heart, the emotional work is complete. It's safe to sleep now. Personalize and evolve your ritual. This is your sacred space. There is no right or wrong way to practice forgiveness. What matters is that it feels real to you. You might play soft music. Say a prayer. Light incense. Use affirmations. Add tears. Add laughter. Add whatever your heart needs. As you evolve, so will your ritual. Let it grow with you. But always return to the core intention, to forgive. To release. To rest. The power of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean condoning. It doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. Letting go means you are choosing not to carry the pain anymore. It means you are giving yourself the love you've been waiting for. And when you do that night after night, you change. Your heart softens. Your sleep deepens. your mornings shine brighter. Forgiveness isn't a one-time event. It's a ritual, a rhythm, a gift you give yourself repeatedly. Because you are worthy of peace. You are worthy of grace. You are worthy of rest. Final reflection. Tonight, when the world grows quiet, return to your forgiveness space. Let your breath be your guide. Let your words be gentle. Let your heart be open. And know this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up for yourself, night after night, with love. Your ritual is not just a bedtime habit. It is your sacred doorway to freedom. Open it. And sleep in peace. Chapter 6, Forgiving Others Without Reopening Old Wounds. Forgiveness is not permission to be hurt again. It is the courageous act of saying, I choose peace over pain. Forgiving others is one of the most profound emotional challenges we face. Whether it's a small hurt or a deep betrayal, holding on to pain can become a quiet poison in the heart, a burden that tightens the chest, disturbs the mind, and clouds the soul. At night, when the distractions of the day fall away, these unresolved feelings often resurface. A harsh word from the past. A friend's abandonment. A loved one's broken promise. The wound may be old, but the sting feels fresh. And if left unchecked, that sting becomes part of our identity. But here's the truth you need to remember. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean excusing. It does not mean reopening yourself to harm. It means releasing the emotional hold that person or moment has on you so you can finally rest in peace. This chapter offers you a path. A way to forgive others while honoring your own boundaries. A nightly practice of emotional release that does not re-traumatize, but liberates. The myth of forgiveness. We've been taught that forgiveness means reconciliation. That it means pretending everything is fine, giving people another chance, or saying what happened didn't hurt. But that's not forgiveness. That's suppression. Real forgiveness is an internal process. It's a gift you give to yourself, not to the person who hurt you. It is a conscious choice to stop reliving the pain. To reclaim the energy that was trapped in anger, sadness, and resentment. You can forgive someone without ever speaking to them again. You can forgive someone and still keep your distance. You can forgive someone and never forget what happened. Because forgiveness is not about erasing the memory. It's about releasing the emotional charge tied to it. The psychology of holding on. Why do we hold on to pain caused by others? Fear of vulnerability. If I forgive, I'm weak. Need for justice. They don't deserve my forgiveness. Fear of repeating the past. Forgiving means I'll let it happen again. Loss of identity. If I let go, who will I be without this pain? But the truth is, when we cling to the pain, the other person still has power over us. We remain tethered to them emotionally, long after they've left our lives. Forgiveness severs that tie not with rage, but with release. It says, you no longer get to live in my mind. I'm choosing peace. Not for you, but for me. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. Think of your heart as a garden. Every grudge, every resentment, every painful memory you water with your attention becomes a weed that chokes out your joy. It steals sunlight from your peace. It saps nutrients from your dreams. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the strongest act of self-respect you can perform. It says, my peace matters more than my pain. I choose freedom over bitterness. I honor what I've been through, but I no longer live there. You don't need to wait for an apology. You don't need them to acknowledge their wrongs. You just need to decide. Because your healing does not require their participation. It only requires your permission. A nightly forgiveness practice for others. Let's create a ritual for releasing the emotional weight others have placed on you without reopening wounds. Step 1. Set your intention. Begin by placing your hand on your heart. Say to yourself, I choose to release what no longer serves me. I forgive for my peace, not for their approval. Step 2. Bring the person or memory to mind. Gently, without force, recall the person who hurt you. See their face. Feel what arises but only observe. Do not judge or suppress. Allow the emotion to surface in a safe way. Step 3. Acknowledge the pain. Say to yourself, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt. But I survived. And I am healing. This step affirms the truth of your experience. You are not denying the impact. You are witnessing it with grace. Step 4. Speak the release. Now, speak a release statement aloud or silently. I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. I release this moment. I no longer carry its weight into my future. I choose to be free. You can write this in a journal, whisper it to the stars, or simply say it to yourself. What matters is the energy with which you say it, calm, clear, and with conviction. Step 5. Protect your boundaries. Forgiveness does not mean allowing them back in. Affirm your boundary. Forgiving you does not mean reconnection. I honor my safety. I honor my peace. This closes the loop. It protects your healing. When forgiveness feels too hard, some wounds run deep. Betrayals that shattered your trust. Harm that changed your path. Forgiving those who inflicted such pain may feel impossible. That's okay. You do not need to rush. You do not need to force it. Forgiveness is not a switch, it's a process. Start with this. I am open to the idea of forgiving, one day. That's enough for tonight. Just by entertaining the possibility, you loosen the grip that pain has on you. Over time, the heart softens. The scar remains but it no longer bleeds. You do not need to let them back in to let them go. The power of emotional closure. Forgiveness gives you closure not from others, but within yourself. It's the ability to go to bed with a quiet heart. To sleep without looping through conversations you never got to finish. To wake up without the emotional hangover of yesterday's hurt. When you forgive, you no longer depend on others to give you peace. You create it. You become it. And night by night, that peace grows. Final reflection. You are not weak for letting go. You are not naive for choosing peace. You are not foolish for healing on your own terms. You are powerful. You are wise. You are free. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, release the need for revenge, justice, or understanding. Let your soul unclench. Let your breath deepen. Let your spirit be lighter. You have nothing left to prove. You have everything to gain. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you do. Sleep well, dear heart. You are healing beautifully. Chapter 7, The Mirror of Reflection, Learning from Our Mistakes. A mistake only becomes a failure when we refuse to learn from it. Every reflection holds a lesson, and every lesson brings us closer to who we truly are. Every night, the world around us darkens. But within that darkness lies a beautiful invitation to turn inward and see ourselves not with judgment, but with gentle understanding. This is where true growth begins. This is the work of reflection, not the self-punishing kind that reopens old wounds, but the honest, loving kind that helps us evolve. When we pause to examine our choices, acknowledge our missteps, and uncover the lessons hidden within them, we transform pain into wisdom. We turn regret into fuel for renewal. And just like a mirror doesn't lie, but also doesn't condemn, nightly reflection offers us truth not to hurt us, but to heal us. In this chapter, you'll learn how to use the sacred tool of reflection to transform mistakes into meaning. You'll create a nightly ritual of looking inward, not to dwell in guilt, but to rise in awareness. Why reflection matters. Many people avoid reflection because they associate it with shame. They fear what they'll see if they look too closely at their actions, words, or choices. But reflection is not about punishing yourself. It's about understanding yourself. When done with compassion, reflection becomes a mirror that shows you where your unmet needs shaped your decisions, where your emotional wounds cried out through your behavior, where your longing for love, safety, or approval led you astray, and where, despite all of it, you were still trying to do your best. When you reflect with curiosity instead of criticism, the mirror becomes a window to your soul's deepest truths. Growth requires looking back, briefly. We often hear, "Don't look back, you're not going that way." While that's helpful when we're stuck in regret, there is also value in a brief, purposeful glance at the past. The key is in the way we look back. Looking back to shame yourself? That's poison. Looking back to learn? That's power. When we revisit a mistake with the intention of understanding, not judging, we gain clarity. We begin to notice patterns in our behavior. We see the emotions that drove our choices. And most importantly, we recognize the opportunity to choose differently next time. You don't look back to live there. You look back to light the path forward. Reframing mistakes as messages. Mistakes are not dead ends. They are messages. They say, "There's something here you haven't yet mastered. There's a truth about yourself you're ready to see. There's a part of you longing to be heard, healed, or held." When you start to view mistakes as information rather than condemnation, you open the door to your own evolution. Instead of, "I failed," say, "I uncovered a blind spot. I discovered what doesn't work. I see now what I couldn't see then." This doesn't make the mistake disappear, but it makes it worth something. And that shift, that's where your transformation begins. A nightly reflection practice. Let's now create a simple yet powerful reflection practice you can use each night before sleep. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes, but the impact over time is profound. Step 1. Quiet the mind. Find a calm space. Sit with your eyes closed. Take 3 deep breaths. Let your body know that this is not a time for judgment, this is a time for understanding. Step 2. Ask loving questions. Use open, gentle inquiry, not interrogation. Ask, "What part of my day felt off and why? Where did I act in a way that didn't reflect who I want to be? What emotion was underneath that reaction or decision? What was I really trying to get? Love? Security? Approval?" Write your answers in a journal, speak them aloud, or simply think them through. The goal is clarity, not perfection. Step 3. Extract the wisdom. Now ask, what did this mistake teach me? How can I respond differently next time? What truth about myself did I see more clearly today? You'll notice something incredible. The more you do this, the more you start to forgive yourself. Because now you see not a flawed person, but a growing person. A student of life. What the mirror really shows. You are not just your actions. You are your intentions. Your efforts. Your evolution. The mirror of reflection shows you where your wounds still need attention. It shows you where your heart is still tender, your boundaries still shaky, your voice still hesitant. But it also shows your strength, your resilience, your desire to do better. And that is worth honoring. Reflection doesn't just heal the past. It redeems it. It allows you to say, yes, I made mistakes, and yes, I am growing. I will carry the lesson, not the shame. Healing requires witnessing. One reason many people feel stuck in guilt is because they've never fully witnessed their mistake. They've buried it, avoided it, pretended it didn't matter. But buried emotions don't die, they fester. Healing requires truth. It requires light. It requires the courage to say, this happened. I did this. And now, I choose to learn and let go. When you look into the mirror with this level of honesty and compassion, you free yourself. You give your soul a voice. And you create the space to become the version of yourself you've always wanted to be. Gentle reminders for your reflection practice. Be tender. You're not on trial, you're in transformation. Be honest. Avoid sugarcoating, but avoid shame. Be consistent. Growth comes from repetition. Be forgiving. If you're still learning the same lesson, that's okay. That's how growth works. Remember, the point is not to reflect perfectly. The point is to reflect consistently with love. Final reflection. Each night offers you a sacred mirror. Not to show you what's wrong with you, but to reveal what's ready to be healed within you. You don't need to fear that reflection. You don't need to run from it. You just need to meet it with kindness. Your past is not your prison. Your mistakes are not your identity. They are invitations, doorways, guides. And tonight, you say yes. Yes to reflection. Yes to growth. Yes to becoming the person you are meant to be. So look into the mirror not with shame, but with reverence. Because the soul looking back at you is beautiful. Imperfect, yes. But awakening, always. Chapter 8, Scripting Your Nightly Forgiveness Prayer. Speak gently to yourself before sleep. Your soul is listening, and it believes every word you say. There is sacred power in the words we whisper to ourselves at the end of the day. In those final quiet minutes before sleep, your soul is wide open. It's when your defenses lower, your heart softens, and your subconscious becomes most receptive. That's why crafting a nightly forgiveness prayer is one of the most potent tools in your healing journey. It's not about religion. It's about connection to yourself, your truth, your higher self, or the divine as you understand it. A forgiveness prayer is an intentional script that speaks healing into your body and mind. It is your opportunity to release guilt, offer grace, acknowledge growth, and prepare your soul to rest in peace. This chapter will guide you in creating a forgiveness prayer that becomes your emotional anchor each night. One that wraps you in compassion, speaks to your deepest truths, and gently tucks your spirit into bed. Why a forgiveness prayer works. Prayer isn't just a spiritual act, it's a neurological one. Science shows that when we speak positive, loving words with emotional intent, our brains release calming neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. This reduces anxiety, slows the heart rate, and deepens sleep. When those words are connected to healing or release, the effect multiplies. A forgiveness prayer works because it interrupts negative inner dialogue, focuses your intention on healing, signals your body that it's safe to rest, creates emotional closure for the day, builds a ritual of consistency that rewires the subconscious, and most importantly, it gives your soul the words it's been longing to hear. The anatomy of a forgiveness prayer. A powerful forgiveness prayer often includes 5 key parts. Acknowledgement of the day. Self-forgiveness. Forgiveness toward others. Emotional release and letting go. Affirmation of peace, healing, and rest. Let's look at how you can shape each part into your own nightly practice. 1. Acknowledgement of the day. Begin your prayer by acknowledging the truth of your day. This honors your emotional experience. You might say, "Today was not perfect, but I showed up. I did what I could with what I had. I faced challenges. I made choices. I experienced both grace and imperfection. I hold no shame for what unfolded. I bring all of it to this moment of release." This part grounds you in reality and prepares your heart to let go. 2. Self-forgiveness. Next, speak to the part of yourself that's still holding guilt, regret, or self-doubt. For example, I forgive myself for what I said, for what I didn't say, for how I reacted. I acknowledge my humanness. I release the pressure to be perfect. I am still learning. I am still becoming. And I love myself through the process. Speak slowly. Let the words sink in. Imagine they are rewriting the pages of your inner script. 3. Forgiveness toward others. Now extend your forgiveness outward, but only as far as feels safe and honest. You might say, "To those who hurt me today, knowingly or unknowingly, I release you. I no longer carry the weight of your actions. I choose peace over pain." This forgiveness is not about forgetting. It's about freeing my own heart. You may choose to name specific people or not. The energy matters more than the details. 4. Emotional release and letting go. This section is where the real unburdening happens. Visualize your emotional heaviness being released from your heart. Say, "I let go of what no longer serves me. I surrender the guilt, the fear, the anger. I return these burdens to the earth, the light, or the divine. They are no longer mine. I exhale the day. I inhale peace." You may even combine this part with breath work, exhaling audibly to match the release. 5. Affirmation of peace, healing, and rest. Finally, close your prayer with loving affirmations. These are the lullabies your soul craves. Try. I am safe now. I am loved. I am forgiven. My body rests in calm. My heart beats in peace. I enter sleep with grace and awaken with renewal. End with a simple closing such as, "And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. With love, I sleep." Let the last line be your emotional seal of peace. Example forgiveness prayer, full script. Here is a full example you can adapt or use as is. Dear soul, today was imperfect, and yet I made it through. I forgive myself for the moments I wasn't at my best, when I was impatient, afraid, or unkind. I see my intentions beneath the surface. I know I was trying, even when it didn't come out right. I forgive those who crossed my path with pain, confusion, or criticism. I no longer give them power over my peace. I return to myself now. I let go of every heavy thought, every replayed conversation, every regret that clings. I release the day. I breathe into lightness. I am safe. I am whole. I am healing. May sleep cradle me in calm, and may tomorrow greet me with hope. And so it is. Making it yours, personalizing your prayer. The most powerful prayers are the ones that feel true to your voice. You don't have to be poetic. You don't have to be eloquent. You just have to be real. Consider adding specific names or memories you're ready to release. Gratitude for lessons learned. Images or metaphors that bring you peace, example rivers, stars, oceans. Words in your spiritual language or mother tongue. This is your conversation with your inner self. Let it be raw. Let it be sacred. Repetition builds rewiring. Say your prayer every night, even if some nights you don't feel it fully. Why? Because your subconscious listens to consistency more than intensity. Night by night, these words become a new inner reality. One where you go to bed lighter. One where your inner critic gets quieter. One where your dreams become more peaceful and your waking life more empowered. Final reflection. Each night, you are offered a chance to begin again. Your forgiveness prayer is not about erasing what happened. It's about embracing who you are, what you've learned, and who you're becoming. Let your final words each day not be self-judgment or fear but grace. Because you are not what you did today. You are not your mistakes. You are the one who speaks peace over your life even in the dark. And tonight, your voice will be the lullaby that heals you. Chapter 9, Healing the Body Through Emotional Release. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. Every forgiveness you offer yourself is also a healing you offer your body. Have you ever woken up feeling more exhausted than when you went to sleep? Have you carried tightness in your chest or knots in your stomach after an emotional day? Do you find yourself battling unexplained aches, fatigue, or shallow breath when you're upset or ashamed? This is no coincidence. The body keeps score. Every suppressed emotion, every unspoken regret, every unresolved grudge becomes stored within your muscles, your breath, your nervous system. Over time, the accumulation of unprocessed emotion manifests physically, disrupting your sleep, draining your energy, and dampening your overall health. But there is good news. You can heal. You can release what your body has held on to. And one of the most powerful times to do this is right before sleep, when the body is ready to reset, repair, and regenerate. This chapter will show you how emotional release through nightly forgiveness not only soothes your spirit, it restores your entire being. The mind-body connection. Modern science now confirms what ancient wisdom has always taught: our emotions are not just thoughts, they are physiological events. Anger raises cortisol levels and increases inflammation. Shame triggers the parasympathetic freeze response, locking muscles in tension. Chronic stress suppresses immune function and disrupts digestion. Guilt often lodges in the gut or shoulders, creating pain or fatigue. When you don't give your emotions a healthy outlet, your body becomes the container for them. And like any container that's overfilled, it begins to break down. Forgiveness is that outlet. It is the emotional detox your body needs. It is the deep breath your cells have been waiting for. Forgiveness as somatic healing. Soma means the living body. Somatic healing is about engaging your physical body in the emotional healing process. Nightly forgiveness isn't just mental, it's somatic. Each time you release regret, guilt, or anger, your body experiences a physiological shift. Muscles unclench. Breath deepens. The nervous system calms. The heart rate slows. Stress hormones begin to dissipate. Healing mechanisms activate during sleep. This is how a forgiveness practice becomes a healing ritual, because it acknowledges that your body needs just as much release as your mind. Where emotions live in the body. Every emotion has a somatic home, a place in the body where it often resides. Grief in the chest. Shame in the stomach or back. Anger in the jaw, fists, or neck. Fear in the belly or shoulders. Guilt in the heart or solar plexus. When you reflect on your mistakes or forgive someone who hurt you, don't be surprised if you feel a physical shift, a lump in your throat, tears welling, or a sudden sigh. These are not weaknesses. These are releases. Your body is saying, "Thank you. I no longer need to carry this." A nightly body-based forgiveness practice. Let's create a powerful nightly ritual to release emotional tension stored in the body. This gentle, body-oriented process helps you drift into sleep with more ease and integrity. Step 1. Body scan awareness. Lie down comfortably. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the top of your head and slowly scan downward. Ask: where in my body am I holding today's stress? Where do I feel tight, tender, or disconnected? Notice without judgment. Just observe. Step 2. Breath into the tension. When you identify a tense area, whether it's your chest, shoulders, or belly, gently breathe into it. Inhale deeply and imagine oxygen flowing directly into that spot. Exhale slowly and imagine the emotion dissolving like smoke. Say softly, I let go. I forgive. I release. Repeat this for 2 to 3 areas of the body. Step 3. Place your hands with intention. Place one hand on your heart, the other on the spot that feels tight or vulnerable. This brings your energy of care and attention to that area. Whisper, you're safe now. You can rest. You are forgiven. I give you love, not punishment. Your cells hear you. Your body believes you. This is cellular healing. Step 4. Visualize emotional unloading. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with guilt, shame, and old stories. Now visualize yourself taking it off. Placing it beside your bed. You don't need to carry it into your dreams. Say, this no longer belongs to me. I leave it here for the night. Healing while you sleep. Your body performs its deepest healing while you sleep. Cells repair. Muscles relax. Hormones rebalance. Memories are processed. Emotions are integrated. When you end your day with forgiveness, your body does not need to fight or defend itself during the night. It can focus all its energy on rejuvenation. Forgiveness frees your immune system. It reduces inflammatory markers. It increases heart rate variability, a sign of true inner calm. And perhaps most importantly, it allows you to wake up lighter. Not just emotionally but physically. When you feel stuck, some emotional weights may resist release. That's okay. Your body may have been carrying them for years. One ritual won't fix everything, but it plants a seed. If you feel a block, gently say, even if I can't release this yet, I acknowledge it with love. I will try again tomorrow. This statement alone tells your body, you're not ignoring the pain. You're attending to it with patience. That's healing. Rewire, restore, reclaim. Over time, your nightly forgiveness ritual will create real, measurable change. You'll sleep more deeply. You'll wake up with less stiffness or fatigue. You'll feel more emotionally grounded during the day. You'll respond to stress with more grace and clarity. This is not magic. It is alignment between your heart, mind, and body. When you forgive nightly, you're not just cleansing your soul, you're purifying your system. You're no longer reacting from pain. You're responding from peace. Final reflection. Your body is your oldest companion. It has held your secrets, your stress, your sorrows. And yet it remains loyal. Waiting. Ready to release. Tonight, thank your body. Thank it for enduring. For protecting. For surviving. Then give it the gift it longs for most, release. Say, I forgive. I let go. I heal. I rest now, not just in mind but in body, too. Because when you heal your heart, your body follows. And when you sleep in wholeness, you rise in strength. You are not just forgiving yourself tonight. You are renewing every cell of your being. Chapter 10, Waking Up Lighter, A New Day, A New You. You are not who you were yesterday. Each morning is a sacred invitation to rise with grace, gratitude, and a heart made new. There is a unique magic in mornings, especially the kind that follow a night of true forgiveness. When you've released the guilt, softened the shame, and whispered peace over your soul, you don't just wake up, you emerge. Lighter. Clearer. More present. More alive. This is the gift of practicing nightly forgiveness. You don't just sleep better. You live better. Because when your nights are cleansed of emotional clutter, your days become more focused, joyful, and empowered. You step into the morning not carrying the weight of your past, but standing tall in the light of your potential. This final chapter is about claiming that light. It's about embracing every new day as a fresh beginning, not because yesterday didn't happen, but because you've made peace with it. Let us now explore how to rise each day with intention, grace, and the clarity of a soul unburdened. The power of an emotionally cleansed morning. When most people think about self-care or productivity, they think of morning routines: waking up early, drinking lemon water, stretching, writing to-do lists. But what if the most important morning habit is actually what happens the night before? A peaceful morning begins with a peaceful night. And a peaceful night begins with forgiveness. When you go to sleep without emotional weight, your body heals. Your mind resets. Your nervous system recalibrates. Your energy naturally returns. You wake up without the fog of yesterday. Without looping thoughts or unsettled feelings. You feel clear. This clarity gives you access to your higher self, the version of you that is calm, kind, intentional, and deeply present. And that's the version of you the world needs. Morning after, how forgiveness reshapes the day. When you've forgiven, your mornings begin differently. You notice. You feel more rested because you're not wrestling with unresolved thoughts all night. You speak more kindly to yourself. You don't start the day with criticism or shame. You feel more energized. Less emotional weight means more available vitality. You make better decisions. Your mind isn't clouded with self-doubt or inner conflict. You show up with grace for yourself, your work, your relationships. Forgiveness is not just for bedtime. It's a tool to awaken into your fullest potential, every single day. A morning practice to anchor the light. Here's a simple 5-minute morning ritual to help you seal the transformation you've begun each night. Step 1. Conscious breath, 1 minute. As soon as you open your eyes, take 3 deep breaths. Inhale peace. Exhale any remaining residue. Say to yourself, I am awake. I am new. I am grateful for this day. Step 2. Affirmation of renewal, 1 minute. Place your hand over your heart and affirm. I am not my past. I am the love I choose today. I carry only what nourishes me. Everything else stays behind. This reinforces the new self-image you've created through nightly forgiveness. Step 3. Morning intention setting, 2 minutes. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? What kind of energy do I want to bring into this day? What is one thing I can do that reflects the love I now hold for myself? Write your answers in a journal or simply speak them aloud. Step 4. Physical gesture of embrace, 1 minute. Stand, stretch your arms up, or hug yourself tightly. Feel your presence. Feel your aliveness. Smile because today, you rise lighter. Letting go creates space for joy. When you let go of emotional weight, you create space. Space for joy. Space for inspiration. Space for clarity. Space for new relationships, creativity, and movement. You no longer live in reaction to your past, you live in alignment with your present. You'll notice simple pleasures feel richer. Conversations feel more meaningful. Decisions come with less second guessing. This is what it means to wake up lighter, not just physically, but spiritually. Who you become after forgiveness. You become the kind of person who doesn't need to control everything. Can walk away from what drains you without guilt. Can apologize without losing dignity. Can love yourself even when you're still learning. Can make decisions based on peace, not fear. This is the real you, the one buried under layers of should-haves, could-haves, and emotional debris. Nightly forgiveness reveals the version of you that is already whole, already wise, already ready. From ritual to lifestyle. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's a lifestyle. A rhythm. A sacred cycle. You reflect. You release. You renew. Over time, this practice becomes a way of life. You no longer need to carry pain into tomorrow. You don't avoid mistakes, you embrace the lessons in them. You speak to yourself with the compassion of a lifelong friend. Each night becomes a letting go. Each morning becomes a becoming. This is how you evolve. This is how you rise. You are a new story now. You are no longer the version of you who held on to guilt for too long. You are not the version who needed others to apologize before you could breathe again. You are not the version who punished yourself in your dreams. You are free. Free to try again. Free to move forward. Free to begin. This is your rebirth, quiet, gentle, profound. You may not even realize it at first, but people will notice. They'll ask why you seem calmer, brighter, lighter. And you'll smile, because you'll know. I made peace with my past one night at a time. Final reflection. This entire journey has been about one thing. Returning to your true self. The self beneath the shame. The self beyond the mistake. The self who is worthy of peace, every night, and every day. Tonight, you forgive. Tomorrow, you rise. And every moment from here forward you live lighter. So take one more deep breath. And say to yourself, I forgive. I release. I rise. Because you are not your mistakes. You are the healing that came after them. You are the new day. The biggest takeaway and how to use this ebook for true life transformation. You were never meant to carry yesterday into tomorrow. Your life is not a record of mistakes, but a journal of becoming. Forgiveness is your pen. Peace is your ink. What this ebook really gives you. This ebook is not just a collection of calming rituals or bedtime reflections. It is a blueprint for a new way of living, one in which you no longer allow your past to narrate your future. At its deepest level, this book teaches you how to stop punishing yourself for who you were yesterday. Start honoring the person you're becoming today. Step into each new morning lighter, clearer, and more connected to your divine purpose. This is not surface work. This is soul renovation. Releasing emotional clutter equals rewiring the soul. Every chapter gently walked you through a transformation process. Recognize emotional residue. Forgive with compassion. Reflect with kindness. Speak truth to your heart. Let go with grace. Wake up with clarity. When practiced consistently, this process doesn't just change your sleep, it changes your entire nervous system, your perspective on life, your sense of self-worth, and most importantly, your ability to realign with your higher purpose. You stop living in mental loops. You start living in the present. You stop feeling like a mistake. You start feeling like a miracle. How to leverage this book for self-enhancement and life focus. Here's how you can use this practice long-term to truly re-engineer your mindset and reawaken your life mission. 1. Build a nightly forgiveness ritual into your lifestyle. Let this be your spiritual hygiene. Just like brushing your teeth, you cleanse your heart nightly. This one act will give you emotional discipline, mental peace, and spiritual clarity. 2. Use morning intention to align with your higher calling. Pair every night's forgiveness with a morning affirmation. I am alive today because I still have something meaningful to give. My mistakes don't define me, my contribution does. This activates your inner compass and trains your focus on your God-given mission. 3. Review weekly how your emotions shift when you forgive daily. Document your peace levels. Notice how you argue less, hesitate less, and enjoy life more. This feedback loop reinforces your transformation. 4. Forgive as a declaration of self-worth. Each time you forgive, you proclaim, I matter. My peace matters. My energy belongs to what's ahead, not what's behind. You stop wasting time self-sabotaging. You begin using your time to build and bless. 5. Transmute shame into service. Mistakes are classrooms, not prisons. Ask yourself, how can I turn what I've been through into wisdom that helps others? Your life becomes meaningful not because it's perfect, but because it's useful. The spiritual reframe, your divine role in this world. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to evolve, to learn, to shine, and to uplift others with the unique gifts only you can offer. Every time you forgive yourself or someone else, you create space for your true light to re-emerge. You become more appreciative of your own journey, more present with your loved ones, more creative in how you serve, more awake to your divine timing. This practice is not just emotional, it is spiritual. It is a conversation with your Creator, a declaration that says, thank you for another day. I will use it wisely. I will not waste it punishing myself. I will spend it fulfilling the purpose for which I was born. And in this way, your nights become sacred, your mornings become mission-driven, and your life becomes aligned. For the ones still living. Too many souls carry guilt like a backpack into their final years. Too many never feel light enough to truly live. But you reading this now, you have a choice. Let this book be your turning point. Let your story be a testament that peace is possible while you are still alive. That you didn't have to fix everything to be worthy of forgiveness. That you were a light to others because you were first willing to free yourself. Final blessing, all is well, with God blessed. Tonight, as you close this chapter, know this. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are being prepared for something beautiful. Your rest is not wasted. Your healing is not delayed. Your purpose is not lost. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. Speak softly to yourself. Rest like you believe you are loved. Rise like your soul has something to give. Because it does. Because you do. All is well. With God blessed. Reaching RTSG with AI assistance via WhatsApp QR code. Recommended Reinventing Ourselves YouTube video QR code.